Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Annie J, and today I am going to talk about a side of PMDD that is usually quite difficult for sufferers to talk about. So if you want to know what's up, stay tuned. I'll be right back. So this symptom of PMDD, the only way that I can sum it up is that sometimes those of us who suffer from PMDD tend to make quite rash decisions. So yes, that is the symptom, rash decision making, and usually to our detriment. I'm going to give an example of my own personal experience having made rash decisions. The first that comes to mind is irrational spending. I don't know why. I would do anything that would make me feel better, and one of the things that would make me feel better is shopping. So I would go on, my favorite online shopping app, and I would just start buying this and buying that. By the time I look at my account, I'm like, what have I done? Especially once I start my period and everything just goes back to normal. Then I realize, oh my goodness, I have really made a massive mistake here. Now, if you're somebody that suffers from PMDD, you may be able to identify with what I'm saying. Another irrational decision that I've made in the past based on the symptoms of PMDD was being able to hold down a job. For a long time, I couldn't understand why I would go bounce from one place of employment to another. And I realized that what would happen is that when I was going through the PMDD, we tend to see things quite negatively. And so at that time, to me, my job seemed very negative. Nothing was going well. Everything was falling apart. I was stressed out, or whatever the case. And for that reason, I would then jump from where I was into a new position. Once everything sort of calms down and what have you, I reflect and I'm like, I don't know whether that was the right thing to actually do at the time. And then another example of making irrational decisions during PMDD is in terms of relationships. When I was dating, for me, I preferred it if I didn't have somebody that I was with on a permanent basis. I liked to be free because I knew that when I'm feeling a certain way, it would be difficult for me to manage that relationship. It was a horrible symptom to go through, making these irrational decisions in different areas of my life, because then the ripple effect, or the after effect, shall I say, would be pretty disastrous. If you're somebody who suffers from PMDD and you've noticed that during those 2 weeks, you do tend to make quite spontaneous, irrational decisions, it's quite difficult to talk about, because even for me, speaking about it now, I felt quite, embarrassed about it, because I felt, why would I make such really major irrational choices? And reflecting back on them, thinking this is not a good look for my life. There's probably more women out there who can identify or relate, when they're going through the cycle, they're quite abrupt with your decisions. It's just thinking that the choices that you're making at the time, you can't beat yourself up about it. And if you are somebody that is in a relationship, or you're married or whatever the case, it's very easy to take out the PMDD symptoms on that person. I know how difficult it is when you're going through the PMDD, but I would encourage you, if at all possible, just to be as mindful as you can possibly be towards the people in your life that love you, because it is very easy to take it out on our close ones, our loved ones. Literally lost it with my family, or with my friends, or whatever the case. And on reflection, looking back at how things were years ago when I was going through PMDD, and it had engulfed my whole life, I did take out my symptoms on the people closest to me, and they just happened to be the people that actually really cared about me. And now I'm really mindful about the way I treat the loved ones in my life when I am going through that. All of them know now. I just explained that, at this particular point in time, things are quite difficult for me, and sometimes I might do things that don't seem myself. They've just become more understanding because of that. It helps to talk. And if you're feeling really down, you're feeling upset, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling low, you feel like crying, just talk to them about it. Sometimes sharing with somebody what you're going through can really help alleviate the stress that you're undergoing because of what you're going through. It's like talk therapy. It's good to speak to people. If you're struggling, if things are difficult, just speak to the people closest to you. They love you, they care about you, you know, and they only want what is best for you. And I know it is difficult, and this condition can literally sabotage life. It can ruin things. So one thing that worked for me is that actually, if I did surround myself in social settings that I enjoyed, for example, people that I do like or love, and we go out, we hang out and what have you, it would distract my mind from focusing on the PMDD, and I would actually be in a happier mind frame because I'm doing something that is enjoyable and spending time with somebody that I love to talk to. So sometimes distractions can be really helpful because it's easy to just sit and focus on the condition when you're going through it. And you just keep over catastrophizing it in your mind because you're thinking, oh, this condition's ruining my life. This is what it does. I go through this. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm always crying. Nothing is working for me. And then you start pinpointing everything in your life that isn't going according to plan. Whereas it may not actually be that bad, but in that moment you feel like things are that bad. But that is the PMDD talking. So what I'm saying is distractions can be very useful for us, especially if they are distractions that we genuinely enjoy. Even when we are not going through PMDD, they can come in very, very handy when we are going through PMDD. So like I said, I used to avoid people, but then what I started to do was not avoid people and actually get out and about and do the things that I do enjoy. And I found it just took my mind off it. I would just forget about it, if I'm completely honest, because I'm focusing on being in the moment, wherever it is that I am, wherever I've gone out and what have you. If you're consistently trying to find ways to help manage it, you are on the right track. Don't ever give up on yourself, no matter how tempting that may be, because trust me, I have been there. I know what it's like to have the suicidal thinking and the urge is just so strong and you feel like this is the only way I can be free. I know what that feels like, but trust me, that is not the answer. You're here for a purpose. You are worth the effort of continuing to try and get yourself to a better place as often as possible. So I say all of that to say, don't be disheartened. Keep researching, keep trying different things. I always will post the link to my blog in the description if you want to have a read of it to see what I personally do, what has helped me. If there's anything in there that might be of use to you. You know, sometimes two heads are better than one. I do believe that. We will get there. We've got this, ladies. We have got this, okay? So even though it may be challenging and we deal with all these different symptom areas, as I might describe, we can get through it. We can still live lives that are fulfilling, and you are worth that effort. Please don't forget to like, definitely comment if you can, especially if you're somebody who has the condition. I do want to hear from other people, and please do subscribe to my channel if you do find my posts enjoyable, and I do look forward to catching up with you in my next PMDD video, which will be out soon. Until then, you make sure you take care of yourself. Do not beat yourself up for the mistakes that may be made because of the condition. It's just about learning to recognize our behavior patterns when we're going through PMDD and what we can do to change those patterns of behavior. Until next time, guys, take care of yourself. It's your girl, Miss Annie J. Bye.